Please, it is not true that you can no longer transfer Italian citizenship to your children here in Italy. That story is not correct. The Italian government never said it anywhere that you can no longer transfer Italian citizenship to your children automatically. It is a lie because a lot of people have been spreading the news, even a lot of newspaper too. They also carried it. The Italian government, they've changed the law. You can no longer give your children Italian citizenship. It is a lie. So in this video, I'll be explaining what actually happened and some of the changes the Italian government they did to this law. You can still give your children Italian citizenship automatically. So I will explain it in this video and I will use three examples to break it down for you in this video. You know they changed it before in March, so they now modify it again on the 24th of May. So this was what they said. They said if a parent acquire or reacquire citizenship from starting from 24th of May 2025, they now said anybody that will now become an Italian from on the 24th of May, this new rule will now apply. What is this new rule? They say if you have a child, the child must have been resident for at least 2 years here in Italy. That was what people just heard and they ran with it. They did not listen to the explanation well, which I will explain in this video. They say or since birth if under 2 years old. So let me explain it for you. So what the government is trying to say, I will use three examples. So please make sure you listen to these three examples so that you understand it well. So number one example. So let's say you have a child that is 3 years old and you gave birth to that child here in Italy. If you become an Italian citizen today, that child automatically also become an Italian citizen. Why? Because the law say any child that you have that have stayed in Italy for 2 years, so and you have a child that is 3 years old, you gave birth to that child, so that child have spent 3 years here in Italy, so the child have stayed in Italy for more than 2 years. So if you become an Italian, all of your children that have stayed here in Italy for more than 2 years, they automatically become Italian citizens. The way it has been before, it is still like that. If your children, if they have spent more than 2 years here in Italy, whether you gave birth to them here or you brought them from Africa or from anywhere you brought your children from, and they have stayed in Italy for the past 2 years, they have residence for the past 2 years, the day you become Italian citizen, you can transfer it to them automatically the way it used to be. So that is one example. Then the other example, they are now saying, okay, what about children that are not up to 2 years old that you gave birth to here? Maybe you gave birth 6 months ago and you became an Italian citizen today. Does that mean that your 6 months old child can also become an Italian citizen automatically since that child has not spent 2 years? The government now said no. That is why you see it in the second paragraph that says since birth if under 2 years. Okay, if the child is not up to 2 years, the child is 6 months old, is 1 year old, 1 month old, 2 weeks old. What they are now trying to tell you that even if that child is not up to 2 years, that child can still get Italian citizenship automatically. But you must make sure that since you gave birth to that child, the child have not left Italy, as in the child did not relocate to Nigeria and now go and spend 1 year in Nigeria without residence here, then you now brought the child again. In that way, no, you will not be able to give that child automatically. But since you gave birth to that child, if that child have never changed, remove his residence from Italy, has not relocated, the child has been resident here in Italy since you gave birth to that child, whether it is 2 weeks ago, it is 1 month ago, it is 1 year ago, that child has been in Italy here. Even if his that child is not up to 2 years, that child can still get Italian citizenship automatically the way it has been. So that is the number two example. So all of you that gave birth to a child here, whether the child is 1 day old, 2 days old, 3 days, 4 days old, as you are getting Italian citizenship, you can still transfer it to that child automatically. Nothing changed the way it used to be. So the third example, they are now saying, okay, there are some cases whereby you gave birth to these children in Africa or outside Italy, and you now brought them to Italy. Let's say you brought them 6 months ago, and you now became Italian citizen today. In that case, these children, they cannot get it automatically because they have not spent 2 years here in Italy. So those are the people this law will affect. Not everybody. If you brought your children from outside Italy and they have not spent up to 2 years and you become an Italian citizen, in the process, this child they cannot become. So they will have to wait until they complete 2 years. So if they came 6 months ago and you became Italian citizen today, meaning they have spent 6 months. They also need to wait again for another a year and 6 months to complete the 2 years before they will now become an Italian citizen. So the way people were spreading the news that if you become an Italian citizen today, so your children will have to wait for 2 years before they will apply. No, if those children that have been here 2 years before you became Italian citizen, yes, they can still become. What is important that they have 2 years resident here in Italy, whether before you became Italian citizen or after you become an Italian citizen. But if you also give birth here and that child is not up to 2 years, what is important that that child have residence here in Italy. The child have not cancelled his residence for since you gave birth to that child. That child can still become Italian citizen automatically. So this is what the law actually says. So you can go and see a lawyer for a better explanation. I just felt I should come and do this clarification. So please encourage me by sharing this video, try to get to as many people as possible. Please don't also forget to use tap send. That is the best app to send money to Nigeria. If you put my promo code Heroes TV, they will dash you €5 in your first transaction. You can get tap send from Apple Store or from Play Store. And if you have problem using tap send, just write it in the comment section and I will contact you. Thank you and God bless you.